with a StockPulse commodity brief for November 29th. Today's brief brought to you by Nighthawk Gold. Nighthawk trades as NHK on the Venture Exchange and is actively exploring their 100% owned district-scale Indian Lake gold property, the untapped Archean gold camp with numerous deposits and showings centered around the multi-million-ounce Kolomak gold project. They've been focused on expanding the high-grade mineralization of Kolomak and moving the project towards a resource update in 2020. The number of high-priority satellite targets in a large mineralized system, Nighthawk Gold developing Canada's next gold camp. Okay, a bit of a slow week here, holiday in the U.S. Let's get to it here. Looking for copper in Quebec, we've got Kintavar Exploration. That's KTR on the Venture Exchange. They discover a new mineralized zone at the Sherlock Corridor. Got with me now, CEO Kiril Mugerman. Kiril, appreciate the time and the update here. Why don't you run through the highlights of the latest news here? It looks like a pretty decent piece of news here for KTR.
No, for sure. That was the last set of results from the summer program. This summer, we decided not to drill. We decided to use the good weather to trench strip as much as we could and expose the mineralization, expose the structure. So this final set of results, what it did, if you look at the map that we show there, the actual Sherlock zone, basically, we now confirm that it extends for 1 kilometer on surface. If you look across, basically it's 400 to 500 meters. So 1 kilometer long by 400 to 500 meters across. And at depth, what we mentioned in the press release from last year's drilling, the deepest we had the mineralization was approximately 160 meters vertical. So now we can finally start putting a bit of a volume and size on this. So that's starting to look pretty good. On top of that, the results, obviously, more and more we find those marbles, we start finding the areas where you get the results, like here, 30 meters of 0.47 on surface. And most importantly, we still see the potential to extend it. So we had the zone to the north, which is elementary, and we believe we are 1.5 kilometers away from the other marbles. So we think that next year, hopefully, we could be connecting the two zones. So that would be 1.5 kilometers plus this 1 kilometer plus 1.5. So if we are successful, we'll have 4 kilometers of mineralization on surface. Colombo is on the eastern side of Sherlock, and that's the first time that we get confirmation of mineralization there. It is within the same fertile area. We got 2 and 3 meters with 0.7 and 0.75 copper on surface. And again, this is an area that barely saw any work. We had a bit of soil anomalies there, so we decided to say, okay, let's go there, because if this continues, that basically 1.8 kilometers of distance from the Sherlock area that needs to be now in field and with the marbles located. The objective is here, grow the volume as much as we can. You are looking at a significant surface discovery. I don't think any of the open pits here are showing any potential for going more than 200 meters deep, but more work will show it. But really, if we can demonstrate just in the southern corridor, the Sherlock, the 3-4 kilometers of mineralization with several open pits, you're looking at significant volume. Low operating costs because you have low energy because you're in Quebec. And this summer we acquired the Pourvoirie Fer-à-Cheval, which is a local operation for fishing and hunting, but it's been significantly developed over the last 10 years. Generates cash flows for us, that's first. But most importantly, it provides us now, we own all the infrastructure there, the power lines, the fuel stations, the camp, which can lodge over 150 people, and the roads that were developed by that operation. So it's a significant development milestone for us. So when we acquired that over the summer, now we are drilling. As we mentioned in the press release, we already started drilling a couple of weeks ago. So the drilling is mostly focused on the Sherlock corridor on this 1 kilometer by 400 meters block that I mentioned. The idea is to test the sub-horizontal model that we demonstrated from the summer work. Some drilling will go into the elementary zone as well, and hopefully we'll even have a chance to plug in a couple of holes at this Colombo area and see what that gives us. But that's pretty much the quick update.
When do you think we'll have those drill results back?
I think you'll see the earliest mid-January, not before, maybe early January. But we are, late November right now. We just started a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, I'd say if we are lucky, mid-November, mid-January.
Certainly appreciate that update from Kiril Mugerman, President, CEO, Kintavar, KTR on the venture. Then caught up with Allan Berry from the Allan Berry Reports. Here was his take on the news.
Yeah, these guys, I'm a big fan of exploration in Quebec. It's one of the best jurisdictions on the planet to do exploration, mine development, and mining. These guys are actually very similar to White Gold that we just talked about. They've done an extensive surface sampling through trenching, through outcrops, through digging up the soil a little bit to get to the bedrock. And after extensive exploration, now they're starting the drilling. And they've got a big target developed, and they're drilling right now. They just announced that they found a new zone that they've opened up with their channel sampling. And so it's a big copper target story in Quebec, and guys doing really good science, really good exploration. And if they hit, this could be a big winner. They've got 91 million shares out, so not too much stock out, and they're looking for a big one. Keep an eye on it.
In the news recently, White Gold. White Gold trades as WGO on the venture to make a new high-grade gold discovery at the Titan target at the Hen property in the Yukon. With me now, a guy who knows the Yukon pretty well, the Chief Technical Advisor for White Gold, Shawn Ryan. Shawn, appreciate the time and update. First holes at Titan, high-grade gold, close to surface. Let's run through what's important here.
Well, that was a new discovery that basically just kind of proves how fertile the Yukon ground is. It's on White Gold's project, because that was a project that actually two different other companies actually worked on over the last 15 years, and everybody's missed it. So that was a brand new discovery, and this one's different from the rest. It looks like it's associated with a massive magnetite, and soil's kicked over 100,000 ppb. Ends up it was 113 grams. We fired acid it. So it's extremely high grade. And now these drill holes showed a big wide intercept with an extremely high grade top part there.
Now that you got those holes drilled, a lot of work has been done. What's next?
So now we're just basically, we've done a lot of geophysics on it, so we're inverting the data, we're playing with the data. And then what we're going to do is, so we have, because it's magnetite, it's like every kid knows how to put a magnet on the refrigerator. So the idea is that we have 5 other magnetite bodies within 400 meters that we could see. And so we're going to plan our drill program, a diamond drill program on that for next year. So that's, and then we just got a few more new soils late in the season. So we're plotting that up, and yeah, we should have a nice program set up for probably starting sometime in April next year.
A lot of deals out there in the sector. What should investors key on and evaluate in the WGO opportunity?
Well, right now, in reality, WGO is it's like a cheap paper in a sense, because we have ounces in the ground and we're barely getting what the value of the company at the moment is. It's just covering the ounces. So this whole new high-grade discovery is all bonus. And we've got, we still got about 35 holes, diamond drill holes from the Vertigo to put out. And we still have 50 holes of RAB drilling that we did late in the fall. And all those are to be released over the next, 6 weeks. There's still lots of news coming out of this district, even though winter's setting in. So that's what the public, stay tuned. There's some more good news coming down the pipeline.
Okay, that was Shawn Ryan, Chief Technical Advisor, White Gold, WGO on the venture. And then caught up with Allan Berry from the Allan Berry Reports, and here's how he saw the news.
Yeah, well, Shawn Ryan is a very well-known guy, and the reason he's known so well is through his, he's a very thorough explorationist, prospector-type guy, and finding new discoveries is not easy. It takes a lot of work, a lot of sciencey kind of work. And Shawn has sort of developed his own method of really thorough exploration of soil sampling in prospective areas. He's already done this once where a company he was involved with was bought out. And now it looks like he might be doing it again. The stock, they've made a new discovery. The highlight from that discovery was 72 grams per ton gold over 6.09 meters, basically starting right at surface, Rob. They were only down about 10 meters. That's the main drilling. They had done a lot of surface sampling like he does. That's his modus operandi. Then, after that thorough exploration of the soils, they went in, they did their maiden drilling, they've hit something serious. That is a very nice situation. Additionally, on this project, they've got more of these targets to drill. They've got road access, which is great. That'll keep their costs down. They've opened up some new zones that I'm going to be interested in. They did a $13 million program this year. It was backed by Agnico Eagle and Newmont, who are big shareholders of the company. Currently, they have about 122 million shares out. And again, this is one that I think people should be paying a lot of attention to. Now, it is in the Yukon, so they won't be drilling over the winter. Any time between now and spring that you can look at getting this at a bargain price, I think you'd be doing yourself a favor.
The news recently, Advance Gold. Advance trades as AAX on the venture. They're starting a large drill campaign here. Allan Berry, the CEO, is going to run through it. Al, appreciate the time as always here. I know you're excited about this one. Why don't you run through the highlights, which you're about to embark on?
Well, yeah, I'm really excited. This is kind of our new awakening of drilling. We had done 10 drill holes, and I had designed those to sort of test down dip of the known vein that was mined historically by Panoles back when silver was worth more. Then silver fell out of favor, and they walked away from the project, but they had never drilled below the oxide zone. We drilled below the oxide zone and hit a network of veins that are gold and silver mineralized, from anomalous gold up to high-grade gold, and good grades of silver as well. But in those epithermal vein systems, what you're trying to find is the boiling zone. And we could have kept on drilling around to look for that, but that gets to be expensive, and it's not easy to do it that way. And so we went in and did a geophysical program, and to my delight, we found an extremely large chargeability anomaly sitting right below the where those veins of gold silver mineralization were. In fact, we were just on the edge of that anomaly, Rob, so close to actually drilling into it. And but you know, that's why you need to do the geophysics. We've got this big 1,000-meter by 500-meter anomaly, and now we're drilling it as of a couple days ago. So I'm very excited. We're a tight stock. We only have around 50 million shares fully diluted, and now we're drilling. We've got a tightly held stock, and if this anomaly is anything like the potential it shows, we could be sitting on something very exciting, and we've only got a tiny market cap, so keep an eye on it, folks. We'll be having more news out soon.
That's it for today's brief. If you're a fan of the information, please subscribe to the channel. Please like, follow, and share the broadcast. If there's any news you'd like debriefed, please email a message to info@stockpulse.com. Back next week with more informative CEO debriefs that hopefully you can utilize to enhance your portfolio.